Hey, welcome back. I'm Carissa, and I have started my Ranunculus and anemone corms. So these are cold-loving early bloomers that are fantastic for cut flowers. The first time I grew them was last year, and the anemones actually did better than the Ranunculus, but I'm going to give it another shot. It was actually easier to save my Ranunculus corms than my anemones. I'm not sure why, so I left these out in my garden. Don't know if they're going to come back or not, but typically they're pretty inexpensive to purchase. So anyway, I have about 100 of my saved Ranunculus corms. The nice thing is they do get larger as they age and mature, so you will typically get more blooms off of your saved Ranunculus corms as they age and mature. So I have 100 of my mixed ones. I bought these online last year. I believe I've got some Tomer mixes, some pinks and whites, and then a romance series, which was like a deep purple and a deep burgundy, a little bit of yellows and oranges too. I was trying to be thoughtful about what would go well with tulips and daffodils, so that's why I chose those colors. But they're also bright and cheery and very colorful. And then at my local Costco, I got some anemones. And this is a mix, Coronaria de Cayenne, if I'm saying that right. And they are quite large and they look quite healthy. And then I have 100 more Ranunculus, and these are my Costco ones as well. And this is assorted colors. Asiaticus is what it says. Really nice mix of colors in that one as well. And they look very healthy as well. Obviously these ones are cleaner because they are professionals. They stored them properly. The way I stored mine was just with the soil on. And typically you can do that with some tubers. I know some people store their dahlias dirty without washing them, and it's worked well for me. So I thought I would try the same thing with my Ranunculus corms. And they seem fine. So my first step was to take these out of storage and soak them for 3 hours. There are numerous different ways you can soak them, but for myself, the easiest way is to change the water every hour, just to make sure that the water is nice and fresh. I filled up these containers about halfway with room temperature water, and then like I said, there was a timer, and every hour I would dump out the water and put new, fresh, room temperature water in the containers. Okay, so that was step one. My second step will be planting these. So like I said, these are cool, loving corm. They germinate in cool weather. So our garage is just slightly heated. So that's where they're going to be breaking their dormancy. These corms are dormant, but as soon as they are exposed to that moisture, it's going to send a signal to the plant to start putting up shoots. But that takes about 2 weeks, and they need darkness and cool temperatures, about 4 degrees Celsius or about 40 Fahrenheit. I like to reduce, reuse, recycle, and I have these leftover gardening trays that hold the little pots you can buy at the nursery, and a little drip tray. Nothing fancy, but this will hold them for a temporary spot. So this is just pre-sprouting. This is not where they will be blooming. This is just pre-sprouting. So you can really pack them in here, and you don't need to worry too much about the spacing when you're pre-sprouting your corms. Okay, I have some pre-moistened potting mix. Again, these corms are just pre-sprouting in this mix, so this is a temporary mix. It doesn't matter about nutrients. Any potting soil will do for these because you're just waking them up. And then early spring, I will be planting them outside with coverage and extra protection. Alright, so knowing that this is a temporary home, there's not a lot of soil in here, but it's just enough to, like I said, break the dormancy for these corms. So I have a couple inches of soil in here, and I'm just going to be placing my corms root side down. So you can see the new growth comes from this area up here. And then the roots would be the bottom like that. So the roots are what we are placing into the soil. Okay, I have placed all of my ranunculus inside of my soil, and now I will be covering it with a couple inches of soil. I have filled up another couple trays, and now I'm going to be placing my store-bought ranunculus inside of this one. So I have my anemones and ranunculus all potted up. Like I said, this is a temporary situation. We are just looking to pre-sprout them so that we can plant them out when it's a little bit more mild in the spring, outdoors, and get earlier blooms. So I'll be placing these in my garage. Like I said, it's about 4 to 5 degrees Celsius, 40, 45 Fahrenheit. And I will be placing a cover on top because they need cool, moist, and dark conditions to sprout. I'll be also setting a reminder on my phone just to make sure that I'm checking on them, because as soon as they do sprout, I will be removing the cover and allowing them to absorb the light. And that wraps up the pre-sprouting process. Thank you for coming along, and I will be sure to keep you updated as these mature and sprout, and even once they are in the yard and blooming, and I cannot wait for that. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.